Hello everybody, it is an absolute pleasure and a privilege to welcome you back to the third in our line of the challenge videos. Back onto poetry, so poetry challenge for the week. Please remember, for these lessons you will need a pen, you will need some paper. Make sure you pause the video and go grab them, and I hope you will join me in a hot beverage of your choice. I go for coffee. It doesn't have to be in a guinea pig mug, but it helps if it is, I find. So if you don't have any of these things and you would like some, pause the video now, go and grab yourself everything you need. We all good? Awesome, let's crack on. I want to start by throwing something out to you today, the idea that less is more. First of all, what do you think this means? And do you agree with it, if you do know what it means? Not going to take any answers there, not going to explain any more just now. We're going to work through this video and then I will ask you the question again at the end. It'll be interesting to see what you think. So, we're still working with the deserted house. I'll just read through it once more to remind us, but we should probably know it fairly well by now. So, the deserted house. There's no smoke in the chimney and the rain beats on the floor. There is no glass in the window. There's no wood in the door. The heather grows behind the house, and the sand lies before. No hand hath trained the ivy, the walls are grey and bare, the boats upon the sea sail by, nor ever tarry there. No beast of the field come nigh, nor any bird of the air. So, the original poem, we did some edits on yesterday, Thursday's lesson, but the original poem has very few adjectives. Why has the poet chosen to use such little description? Because remember, poets never do anything by accident. They're always choosing the best words in the best order to create those pictures inside our heads. First of all, I would like you please pause the video, make a list of all the different parts of the house that the poem describes. You back? Unpause me, lovely. So I've got chimney, the floor, the window, the door, the house, the sand before it, in front of the house, behind the house. We know about the ivy and we talk about the walls. So we've got lots of individual little parts of the house there, hopefully you found. And now please, I would like you to count the number of times the word no is used in this poem. Find where they are. Pause the video and find the no's. Cool? Back with me? Nice. Here we go. There's no smoke in the chimney, no glass, no wood, no hand, no beast. That's repetition. It's the same word being used over and over again. Why? What's the effect? Why have we got that repetition in there? Pause, look at where the word no is, look at what it's talking about. What do you think the effect of that repetition might be? Okay, so every time the poet introduces a new part of the house, the word no is also in the line, or pretty much. So, chimney, oh, hang on, I'm pointing at my screen, that doesn't work. Chimney, but no. Window, no. Door, no. Yeah, can we see? Every time we get shown a new part of the house, we also get told that negative, something isn't there. Moving on to another little thing, where is the focus of the poem? So if the poet, what I mean by this is, if the poet is trying to put thoughts and pictures inside our head, where is she asking us to look? Where is she asking us to imagine? Think about it as if you were a film director. If you were going to film a version of this poem, what would the shots be? What would you focus on in your little camera lens for each line? Have a pause. Pause it now. See where the poet tries to make us look. Back. Cool. So, there's two different things going on here. In stanza 1, we look at small things, tiny little parts of the house. We look at the chimney, and we just look at the floor. just at the window, just at the door. Then we get to stanza 2 and we look at big things. We look at the world surrounding the house. We have the sea, the fields, the air. Massive, big, whole world things. But what we actually never see is the actual house. We don't ever actually get a description of what the house looks like. We get shown tiny parts of the house, but then told they're not there. There's a window, but no glass. There's a doorway, but no door. So every time we're given a description and then it's taken away, it makes us feel as though this house is completely broken down. And then, bam, into the second stanza, we get shown how big the world is around this house. The fields, the sea, the air. And suddenly this broken down house feels tiny and insignificant in comparison. So what the poet is doing, she's playing with our perception, with our sense of scale. We either look at tiny little parts of the house, or we look at how tiny the whole house is in relation to the sea, the sky, all of the countryside. Can we see how these things are starting to add up? These tiny little techniques, showing us something but then taking it away again. Making us zoom in on something, then making us zoom right out. All of these little techniques are building up to have an effect. So the poet wants to create a sense of abandonment and loss, a sense that the house has been completely forgotten by everyone and everything. And she does this by not adding in that real description. We don't have imagery and similes and metaphors and adjectives. We don't have a lot of that stuff at all. But she just manages to play with our ideas, give us something, then take it away. Tiny scale up to big scale. And it creates this sense of there just being nothing. So, if I say to you again, less is more, using less description to create that sense that the house is somehow less, the house doesn't have very much to it, does that actually have a greater, more powerful effect on the reader than if she had packed in loads and loads of stuff? Do you believe now that less can sometimes be more? That is it for our challenge today. I will leave you with it. I hope that you enjoyed it and I hope it was interesting. Sorry, that weird look was my cuckoo clock just went off and it really made me jump. That's what that was. I'm sorry. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed studying this poem with me. I think it's a really, really nice, interesting one. And we'll have a new poem next week to look at. Have an absolutely fantastic weekend. I hope the weather is somewhat nice for you. Please take care, my lovelies, and I will see you as soon as it is safe. Bye bye.